What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good freaking morning. How we doing? How we doing? I hope everyone's doing great. Oh, we're going to talk about money management. We're going to talk about a lot today. So I'm just going to wait like another minute or two before everyone can come in. We have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. I've hit my daily goal in pre-market as well. I hit my daily goal. 2 grand. 2 grand right now so far. And it's been on a super small side. So I'm about to go over that. Just give it a minute. Let people roll in because this is a very important stream. So I want everyone to focus up. I want everyone to focus up. This is going to be very important. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab my coffee. It just got made and then we'll start. All right. So, first things first. Meme stocks are running right now. Oh, wow. See, it's 7:54 a.m. 7:54 a.m. and this person in the Discord is up 10 grand. Now, this is the potential. Now, this is really what I want to go over. There's going to be so much FOMO in the market, right? There's going to be, let's have a talk. There's so much FOMO in the market right now where there's so much opportunity to make money. Now, there's been cycles, okay? So when COVID started, or before COVID, it was slow. I wasn't a trader back then, but it was slow. That's what I've heard. All right, so we have more people coming in. We'll wait. Sorry, guys, but we'll wait a second. I want everyone to really focus up on this because this is very important. So when we're going to talk about cycles. So initially, before COVID wasn't that hot, you would love 10, 15% runs. After COVID, 50%, 100% runs were natural, right? It was so much liquidity in the market and so much opportunity to make money. But right now, after COVID, right, the market completely shifted to the downside. It was trash. It was horrible. It was terrible. Now, the market has, before this AMC GME run, it's been good, right? It's been okay. It's been doable. I'm able to hit my daily goal almost every single day of $1,000, $1,500, right? Call it a day. But right now, after a year and a half of just day trading momentum, there's this run again, right? So how do you trade this? How do you navigate through this noise? So typically I don't day trade AMC and GME, right? I don't day trade them. If I find an opportunity like swing trading, sure. I don't day trade them often, as in like I'm not looking for a scalp here. I'm going to be looking at my regular momentum trades, which we'll go over. But I'm not looking for, like I'm about to scalp AMC. No, I look for bigger moves. For example, on SPWR today, right? On SPWR today, in early morning at 6:55 a.m., I said it added at 4:32, so literally right about an hour ago. And I said in chat, I'm not looking to sell because I know market conditions. Now, there's a difference. I understand market conditions. Okay, so why am I not selling? Am I holding without hope? No. But I understand market conditions. I know the market's hot. SPWR is going to squeeze. It's a squeezer play. It's going to go along with these memes. AMC is at highs. GME is at highs. SPWR is going to follow. That's my thesis. I have risk management. I have a thesis. And have an overall price target. Took a little bit off at 4.7. Took a little bit off at 5.10. And I let the rest of my shares ride. Right? So every person made money with me here. Now, how do you know which one to hold and which one to not? Well, I knew SPWR was lagging and that's why I was able to hold it. But you have to understand market sentiment. If you have your edge, so before this AMC and GME run, what I would do is I would try to get in early on stocks. Right with my edge, I would look for low volume pullbacks. I would look for whatever my edge is, and I would have a good entry on a stock. And as it goes up, I sell to the people chasing. Okay, I sell to the people chasing. But now, like back then, I would, like literally yesterday, I would be looking for 10-15% runs, which I would scale off most of my positions, which is great gains. But right now, the market sentiment, you can hold it for 20-30% potentially, right? Not guaranteed, but potentially. Just you can just anticipate a bigger move. That's how you can make more money, right? So don't try to just full port everything, right? Don't try to full port everything. Don't try to chase everything. Remember, focus on your edge. Focus on all the good habits that you have been building for the past year and a half, 2 years after the COVID bull run. Because right now, what's going to happen is COVID made bad habits for me. COVID, I was trading from my bed. I was making $50,000 in my bed. It was crazy. It was like, it was a bad habit, right? I can't trade from my bed now, right? So make sure that all the good habits that you have made, make sure they stay intact. Make sure that you guys are focusing on all the education that I have taught, that you have learned over this time, and use that to capitalize on the market. Don't just completely flip the switch and just be like, okay, AMC and GME running. Everything I learned in the past year and a half is going in the trash can, and I'm just gonna full send. You can blow your account, or you can make $1 million. You can take that risk. But then what's the point of putting in the work for the year and a half? Because what's going to happen is if you make that $1 million, if you make that 2 million, 3 million, whatever, or just life-changing money, you will have that habit so ingrained in you to where when this bull run ends, you're going to lose all of it. That's what's going to happen. That's what market makers are doing. They are going to implement these runs for more liquidity to come in the market, bankrupt people, and continue back on their day. That's the cycle of the market. That's the cycle of the market. So remember, I posted something yesterday. Okay, I posted something yesterday. I said every grandmother is gonna know about this run, right? Remember when GME was running? Like people at the mosque were talking about it. People like on the streets were talking about it. That's what I mean by liquidity. And I made a post yesterday on Twitter. I said GME and AMC are not just individual stock runs. Sure, it's cool, but I'm more focused on the macro perspective, like the bigger picture. How much liquidity is coming to the market? How much money, how much money is just coming into the market? I don't care who's trading it. It's just there's so much liquidity coming into the market. So understand that, and please stay focused on your edge. This is more of a psychology talk right now. You need to focus on your edge. You need to focus on A+ setups still. And the way that this is going right now, I'm talking about it like this is just one day, right? So if I have to have this talk day 1 and day 2 because I see people absolutely flipping the switch, and it's good, right? It's good for momentum, but you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Just remember that I'm not saying we can't make tons of money. I'm not saying we can't have tons of fun. I'm not being the police, but I'm saying that you need to preserve your capital. You need to find A+ setups, and you need to bank hard on those A+ setups. Because what is mental capital? If you take a shitty trade on AMC right now and try to scalp it, and you lose $100, that mental capital, when you find an A+ setup down in my zone, can stop you from making 2,000, 3,000 on an A+ setup. That's what I mean by mental capital. And that's what I mean by focus on your edge, focus on mental capital. Because if you can focus on your A+ setups, right? A+ setups, risk management, along with hot market, recipe to become wealthy. Recipe to become wealthy. Okay? But that does not mean you just start chasing every stock. You wait for your setup. I have to emphasize that. You wait for your setup. Okay? So that being said, let's talk about AMC. All right? So do you guys understand where I'm coming from? Let me know in chat. Do you guys understand? Do you guys understand where I'm coming from? What I mean by this, that this is an important psychology talk that we need to have. You guys let me know in chat. All right, so no blowing up accounts. All right, no, none of that crap. Just A+ setups and make money. All right. let's go over AMC. So AMC, we talked about this zone in pre-market on the watch list, right, that I posted at night yesterday. AMC is holding my zone. This was a resistance zone I mentioned for price targets. It has now broken over and actually made itself support. So now where are we looking for now? So first, let's go over where I found these zones from. Okay, so I found this zone from the weekly chart. This is where I anticipated buyers to come in for the reason of previous buyers and fail here. So previous buyers were here. We made a little pop, right? And then completely failed. Right, so this is a demand and supply flip right here. This right here. So basically what I'm looking for is something like a pop over, right? And then pull back into the support zone. Right? That's exactly what happened on the 5-minute. We made the bottom support. And that's exactly what happened here. Right? On the weekly, I was looking at this demand zone flip into supply. Almost literally perfect. We broke out, retested, and then move into the next supply, right? So right now we're at 13.3. Let's mark out that high, okay? And see where we're sitting. Let's see what we have to work with, okay? So this is our range right now from pre-market, 780 to 13.3. Now, significant levels, obviously 1070, right? We have that lower wick right here. And then we have 1196. So I'm going to make this line blue because it's in the middle. It's going to be the candle open. And then the below this line is going to be the green line because it's below the wick. Now, why is this the green line? Why would I want to buy here at the lows? Typically, what you see on stocks in general is a break below liquidity, a break below support, right? That's what we always talk about. To the people that are new here, you might not know, but we always go over liquidity. So where does liquidity sit? Where does liquidity sit? Over highs and under lows. Remember that? Over highs and under lows. So another resistance area is going to be this right here, right? Along with another, let's mark that up. All right, so we're looking good. This is what I would be looking for. Now, for a trade opportunity, looking for a break below 1070, grab liquidity. Now, what is liquidity? Once again, where all the resting orders are. So buyers are going to look to sell here. They have stop loss orders right under here. Shorts have short entries here. Buyers are trying to buy the dip and sellers are trying to short. It's just an influx of orders right here. So this is typically what happens. They grab all the orders, market makers, and they make money off of grabbing all these orders, okay? That's how they make money, by grabbing all that liquidity. So now on the chart, it looks something like this. On the intraday chart, it's going to look something like this, what we want to see. Crack below 1070 and look for an entry back up to 1196. All right? That's what our levels are. Now, there's some people who are probably like, damn, this guy's telling me 1196. I want to hold until 15. Who is this guy? Well, I'm a profitable day trader, okay? And I'm going to respect my rules. I'm going to respect my key levels. That's what I said, A+ setups. Still follow your rules, but instead of scaling off on the way up halfway, maybe just hold your trade full. You can make double the money, right? So remember that there's still a lot of opportunity to make money, but follow those rules. So 1070 to 1196. If 1196 becomes support, breaks over, we have room to 1330 and 1390. Okay? Why wouldn't an original zone be drawn by 675? 675 is all the way down here. It's not even worth trading. We're looking at AMC right now, Joel. I'm talking about how to trade this, all right? So we're looking at AMC right now. Ticker's right here. Plan on AMC, crack below 1070 for a move to 1196 to 1330. Now, I'm probably not going to trade this out the gates, right? Because still, remember, following my rules. I like to be patient. I like to wait. So I'm going to be focusing on a lot of sympathies as well, like NEGG, KOSS, right? So let's look at, you guys understand the plan here. We went over liquidity, just pretty simple. And after 1390, I know a lot of people want price targets, so I'll get you guys right. 1390, after 1390 is going to be really tough to get over. I'll tell you that. 1390, $14 is massive. There's going to be so much liquidity sitting there. So if you do have a position, make sure you're scaling off on those levels. Because after 1390, there's no resistance until 28 on the weekly. Daily, 1690. There's just room. 1439, small resistance. 1690. I mean, look at these gaps on the daily, right? When it came down. So that's why I'm saying getting over 14 is going to be very, very, very difficult. But once we do, we have so much room to run. So much room to run. So just remember that if we do get over 14 on AMC, you do want to be able to capitalize on this opportunity and probably hold your trades, right? But 1390 and 1439, this is all very big resistance. Once we get over that, you gap. You start to gap. Okay? Just remember that. So now let's take a look at GME. All right, so I marked out 2 zones in pre-market. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'll pull it up just for reference. Last night. Okay, this is the chart I posted on GME last night. Okay, let's compare it right now. You guys should have seen the chart that I threw out yesterday. You guys can see that we talked about this top zone right here, this top zone, which is quite literally this right here. So we talked about this. I said either we dip down into this bottom zone or we start to rally up into this next resistance. And guess what happened? Rallied up straight into this resistance. And what's going on right now? All right, I'm about to teach you guys something. I'm about to teach you guys something crazy. Now, either this could all be a liquidity grab over this zone. First, let me show you how I got this zone. So on the weekly, I go to the weekly. Actually, I went to the monthly on this one, I believe. Yeah, because there was so much going on. So on the monthly, I marked out my demand zone. All right, so I marked out my previous buyer zone, which hadn't gone crazy. So there's leftover liquidity right here. Same thing, leftover liquidity right here. Okay, now for resistance, I marked out this level right here, which is a decent volume candle, along with obvious resistance right here, right? So what's a potential scenario here? What's a potential scenario? Maybe market makers are taking it from this zone, right? It went from here all the way here. Maybe market makers are just grabbing liquidity above this zone to send it all the way back down. You might hate me for saying that, but it's a possibility, okay? Now, it's a possibility, but is it likely? Probably not, because market makers and retail want to capitalize on a move like this. So is that very likely? No. What's more likely is that we held this bottom zone, right? So if we crack below this bottom zone, all right, this key level of, I want everyone to write this level, to write these 2 levels out, draw these levels out right now as we speak. 55, 55.80, 55.70, right around there, okay? 55.70, 55.80, and 67.27, 67.25. Draw these zones out as we speak right now. They're right here, 55.28, 67.23, 55.81, and 67.23. All right? As long as we hold this bottom zone, we're good. Something we can see is a liquidity grab below this level as well for a move like this. Okay, that's a potential scenario. Or we see a breakout here, retest, okay, and then go up. Retest the top zone, which is 67.23. So we see a breakout into open, pull back into here, and then take that trade opportunity right here. So two trade opportunities, 2 trade scenarios. Okay, either we grab liquidity, meaning all resting orders below this 55.80, and this aligns from the weekly, or we break out, grab liquidity at the high level, and then we start to make that move to the upside towards 100. All right, so there's these 2 scenarios. Which indicator is that for the zone? I draw these myself. I draw these literally in front of you guys. I draw them every morning in front of you. So I got this zone. I drew it out from this resistance right here from the wick. That's what I go over every single day. How I'm drawing over these zones. So make sure you guys are tuning into the streams so you guys can kind of understand how I'm getting these zones. But anyway, so here's the game plan on this. Okay. So we spent a lot of time on AMC GME just because this is what's hot right now. Now let's look at the top gainer list from Discord. Okay, let's see what else is popping. So I'm gonna be looking at Holo. Okay, SPWR. I want to go over why I took this trade in a little bit more depth. Okay, a little bit more depth. All right, so for SPWR, we took this trade at 4:32. Okay, 4:32 at 6:55 a.m. So about an hour ago. 6:55, so 7:55 right here. This is where we took the entry. Okay, that's where we took the entry here. On SPWR. Now the reason for that, one reason why I alerted this, I want to teach you guys something very, 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 very important. What did we talk about? Where does liquidity sit? What did I just say about 10 minutes ago? Especially some of the OGs, but what do you guys know? Where does liquidity sit? Let me know in chat. Above and below. Above what and below what? I just gave you the answer, but let me know. Where does liquidity sit? Where does liquidity sit? Let me know in chat. Above what and below what? Above highs and below lows, okay? So here's obviously a low, right? That's obviously a low. That's obviously a lower wick low. And then this is a low. Okay, let's turn these green just for reference. These are support. And then what about resistance? Where's the high at? There's a high here, and there's a high here. So let's talk about liquidity for a second. If we have a high here on this candle, and this breaks over it, candle closes under this level, what does that show us? This whole move was simply just a liquidity grab, right? This whole move was a liquidity grab, meaning they grabbed all stop loss orders, they grabbed all long orders, and then now they moved it to the downside, okay? So now that they grabbed liquidity to the upside, now we need to grab liquidity to the downside, okay? So now we broke below these lows at 403. We broke below these lows. So either we see two things. Either we see two things. One more extension of 508, grab liquidity again and dump, okay? Or we see buyers grab liquidity to chase the next liquidity zone, which is 508. Does that make sense? We talk about this a lot, but does this make sense? Right, liquidity is below this low. So what happens? They grab stop loss orders below this wick. They grab every single order right here, and then they moon it back to next liquidity. So market is going to move from liquidity pool to liquidity pool, okay? Where all the orders are sitting. So they grabbed all the orders here. Now where are the next orders? Right here, and where's next? You go to the daily chart. And that is why I was able to capitalize on SPWR. That's when I took the trade at 6:55, at 4:32. What did I look at the timing on here? I took this trade at 7:55 after they grabbed liquidity. After they grabbed liquidity. Notice how I waited for my. Notice in the morning when the stream started, I said A+ setups, wait for your trade, make big money. A+ setup, size in, hold your trade, make big money. I waited for my trade setup. I waited for my trade setup. I waited for a liquidity grab like I wait. Just like every other day. I took my entry just like I would on any other day. Except the only difference that I did was I held my position longer because I know the market sentiment is hot. Does that make sense? I didn't break any of my rules. I followed an A+ setup. I had good risk management, good risk to reward trade because I know they grab liquidity here. Now they grab liquidity. Now they need to go to 508. So my price target from 420 to 508, how big of a move is that? That's how I was able to make $2,000 on this trade, simply with 1,500 shares. With 1,500 shares, I was able to make $2,000. And I don't trade big size in pre-market. So instead of trading big size and putting more risk on the table, what did I do? I saw market sentiment and I held the trade longer. That's it. I didn't put more risk on the table. I actually had very low risk on the trade. Let me know if this makes sense. Why I took this trade on SPWR, the liquidity grab. Let me know, guys. Let me know if this makes sense. Let yes, no in chat. Yes or no. Every single person who's here, put a yes or no in chat. I want to make sure you guys are learning and understanding what's going on in the markets. Yes, no, maybe. Where's your stop loss? I'm already out. Oh, but my stop loss would be under 403. So I'd be risking from 420 to 403, or right around 4. My stop would be under like 399, which is this low. So I'm risking 25 cents for a dollar move. 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. I think that's pretty good. I'd say that's pretty good. All right, so everyone understand what's going on. Glad to see that. All right, so let's go over cost, because cost just hit the scanner. Cost just came on the scanner. Okay. We talked about cost yesterday. Okay, we talked about cost yesterday, and what did we say? If anyone remembers, we said on cost we have liquidity here and we have liquidity here. So above highs and below lows. Where did they grab liquidity first? Market makers could have done this and brought it down, or they broke below it and brought it up. Does that make sense? They grab liquidity to the downside where all the resting orders are sitting. They broke below it, mooned it. So that should be a really eye-opener of everything I just taught. Above highs, below lows. Grab liquidity below lows, move it to highs. Move it to next liquidity pool. Drop it down to next liquidity, right? So this is very, very, this should make sense. Okay, now for costs, probably let's go to the weekly chart, see where we're sitting at. We're sitting at 632 in pre-market. Look for pullbacks easily down to like right here. Let's look at the monthly. Actually, there's a lot of noise going on. 631. Pull back down to like. There we go. All right, so let's see what this zone is doing. Okay, so old support, right? Obviously, old support that I just marked out, where we're sitting at right now. This wick right here, this some buying pressure. So I'm anticipating more buying pressure to come in at this time, along with old supply. So this is the same candle, right? This is the same candle before the massive move down. You guys see that? Candle accumulation. This is the supply zone before the massive move down. So from 5 all the way to 1, this is where we were. Now it's flipping into support. So what am I going to do? Look for something like this. Breakout, retest back into the zone. We'll use the zone right here. Okay, so we're looking for either a breakout and retest into the zone for an entry, or an entry on the bottom zone. Okay, so either two of these scenarios. Okay, now we have 9 minutes into market open. I hope you guys learned something from the stream. If you guys are here, drop a like. It would be much appreciated. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm coming out with new YouTube videos every single day. And today I'm gonna have a very nice YouTube video. It's gonna be a raw talk with me just driving, and I'm gonna explain to you exactly how to make money in this market. Kind of what we talked about, but more so psychology and a little bit more in depth, and how market makers are making money and how they're gonna try to stop you from making money. All right. So I hope you guys learned something. Usually we do not do streams on Tuesday, but it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But just because the market is so hot and I know people are just trying to rush into trades, I really wanted to talk about psychology and really save people from blowing up their accounts. So I hope you guys learned something from the stream and found some value. If you guys did, make sure you guys drop a like. I'm about to go and switch over to the live stream right now into the Discord because there's only 8 minutes left, so I kind of want to recap. If you guys want to trade live with me, right here is the banner. You guys can check that link out, or top link in the description. I hope you guys learned something. Make sure you guys subscribe. Watch the most recent YouTube video I dropped yesterday on the CCLD squeeze, and we'll have something out for you guys today. So other than that, it's been Minnie. Hope you learned something. Peace.